Alright guys, so for this trick, I just need the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces, and we're going to go ahead and be losing the aces in various spots in the deck, alright? So we're going to take the first one, place it towards the bottom, second one towards the middle, and just making sure that each ace is in a different location, that they're not all next to each other or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and push those cards in just like this, and maybe give them a quick shuffle to completely lose them in the deck somewhere. Alright, so now that the aces are lost in the deck, we're going to see how good the spectator's intuition is, and we're going to be having them guess the location of the 4 aces. So I'm actually going to be holding the deck out for them just like this, and they would be allowed to touch any 4 random cards that they think, might possibly be the aces. Now, there's like a 4 in 52 chance that the spectator had even possibly gotten this right. So let's see if they did. It's really impossible, but hopefully if the spectator has good intuition, we should have found the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces just like this. And that is the trick, guys, and now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So at first, I was a little bit skeptical about teaching you guys how to do this trick just because it's not really that practical of a trick. But then I realized the main move that you have to do in this trick, there's a lot of applications for it. And I really just want to inspire you guys to, create your own tricks and your own methods to do tricks and stuff. So I'm still going to teach you guys how to do this trick, but I will tell you that A, it is pretty difficult, and B, there is only like one type of situation in which you're going to be able to perform this trick. Like, you're not going to be able to do this on the street. The ideal situation for this trick is you're like in a coffee shop and you're sitting at a table and there's a person opposite of you. That's pretty much the only opportunity that you're going to have to be able to perform this trick, is at a table, you're seated at the table and there's someone opposite of you. That's pretty much it. And the table has to be hard surface, and it has to be opaque. It can't be like a glass table, and it can't be like a table with holes in it or anything. So even if you don't want to perform this trick, this is just something kind of fun to play around with, and you guys can create your own tricks using the move that I'm about to teach you. So I'm going to give you a very quick overview of how it's done, then I'll go a little bit more in depth. So basically what's going to happen in this trick is you're going to take the 4 aces and you're going to control them to the top of the deck in any way you want. So you can kind of like lift up these cards as you put the cards down like this, and then you can lose them in the deck like this. You can take these 4 cards, place them in random spots, and then push them in, and then there, 4 aces are controlled to the top. So that's one way to do it, but there are many ways to do it. I'll teach you my favorite way to control the aces in just a minute. Then you're going to just do a shuffle where you keep the aces on top, and now as you spread out the cards, you're going to say, so I'm going to have you use your intuition to guess where the cards are, and you're going to take the 4 top cards and kind of in-jog them a little bit like this. So they're not squared up with the deck, they're actually kind of a little bit more towards you. So now you're going to spread out the cards, and they're going to touch any 4 cards from the middle of the deck, alright, just like this. And then as you take out these cards, you're actually going to lift up on the back with your thumb and push up and catch a pinky break, and you do that as you take out the 4 cards here. So now you're going to set the 4 cards down, and you're going to readjust to get, I believe this is called an Erdnase break. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to get these 4 cards from pinky break into Erdnase grip, just like this, to an Erdnase break, sorry. And then once you have the cards in this break here, it's basically just held between the pinky and ring finger. And then you're going to pick up the 4 cards with your left hand, and you're going to sort of gesture to the spectator, and as you set the deck down, you're actually going to take the 4 cards, the 4 aces from the top, away with your hand. And as you take the cards and put them into your hand, you're going to use your index finger here to basically push these cards away, and they're going to fall into your lap as you put those cards in your hand. And it just sort of looks like you're setting the deck down and then taking the 4 cards. So then you can spread the deck out just like this, and you can reveal 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Alright, so now I'm going to get into a little bit more in-depth tutorial of how to do this trick. Alright, so the first step of this trick is controlling the aces to the top. So actually my favorite way to do this is you start with the aces on top, and then you can sort of deal them onto the table, and you can give them to the spectator to examine. As they examine the aces, you're going to spread off just a couple of cards on the deck. When you see 4 cards, you're going to get a break, and then you're going to palm them. You're just going to put them here in a palm position, and then you're going to hold the deck out so that the spectators can put the aces face down on the deck, and they're going to take the aces here, and they're going to drop them on the deck face down. And then as you come away, you're going to bring the deck back towards yourself, and you have 4 cards palmed in your hand. So all you're going to do is drop these cards on top, just like this, as you kind of just spin the deck around. And that's really all it is. And now you have 4 random cards on top, and these 4 cards can act as the 4 aces. So you can deal these out onto the table, and then you can just kind of lose them in separate parts of the deck. Just place them, one towards the bottom, one towards the middle, one towards the top, and just make sure you don't put them like in the top 4 spots. Just put them anywhere below the top 4 spots. Push those cards in, and then just give it a quick shuffle here, keeping the 4 cards on top. And that is my favorite way to control 4 aces. So once you do that, you're going to basically say, so we're going to test out your intuition. We're going to see how good you are at guessing the location of the 4 aces. And as you talk, you're going to spread the cards out just a little bit here. You're going to eyeball 4 cards, and when you kind of square up, you're just going to in-jog those 4 cards a little bit. So you're just going to take them from here and just kind of move them down just a little bit as you square up. Now you're going to spread the cards out again, and you're going to have the spectator touch any 4 cards from the middle of the deck and just say, I want you to touch any 4 cards from the middle of the deck, and they'll do it. They're not going to touch the top or the bottom. Just don't worry. They're going to touch 4 cards from the middle. So now what's going to happen is you're actually going to use your thumb here to lift up on the in-jogged cards here. So you have in-jogged cards. You're going to lift them up, and you're going to push them forward so that they're flush with the deck. You're going to lift up with your thumb, and as you do that, your pinky is going to be inserted, and then you're going to push the cards forward, and now you have a pinky break. When you push the cards forward, your fingers here are going to be on the left edge of the deck. Those are in perfect position here to spin out the 4 cards and then place them on the table. So you've just done 2 things at once. You've pushed the cards forward and caught a break, and then you've taken out the 4 cards and put them on the table. So now you're going to get into Erdnase break, or whatever it's called. I'm not exactly sure if that's what it's called. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but basically what's going to happen is you're going to use your fingers here from the pinky break. You're going to lift up with your middle and ring finger, and make sure your hand is angled down when you do this. You don't want it to be here, or else they're going to see this huge break. So just make sure your hand is angled down, and you're basically going to be clipping the cards in between your pinky and ring finger here, just like this. So you're going to take your hand, put it there, and then you're going to take your index finger, curl it here, and then thumb goes there on the deck, and the fingers will clamp down on everything. So that is basically how to get into that grip right there. You'll see the cards here will be gripped between the pinky and ring finger. So now this is held in your right hand here, and then your left hand's going to come over, pick up the 4 cards that are face down on the table and hold them in mechanics grip, but not in regular mechanics grip where they're sort of lower in your hand. You're going to kind of lift them up a little bit, so there's a bunch of room from, the skin of your hand to the cards. All right, so there's a bunch of room there. All you're going to do now is sort of gesture these 4 cards. You're going to say, all right, so there's a 4 in 52 chance, you could have guessed where they are. And as you do this, you're going to take the deck, you're going to set it down on the table. And as you do that, you'll see that the Erdnase break will allow you to just sort of lift up on those 4 cards as you set the deck down. So when you set the deck down, you'll be able to just very easily pick up those cards separate from the deck. So when you do that, you're going to set the deck down and then quickly take your hand away. And basically, when you take your hand away, these cards are in lifted mechanics grip. And the second these cards are about to go on your hand, you're going to take your index finger and you're going to push the cards away, just like you're going to push the cards in, and they're going to fall out of your hand and into your lap. All right, and these are going to fall into your lap. So these cards are going to be totally concealed from the spectator's point of view. And the second you do that, you're going to take these cards and put them in your hand. So you're going to take the cards here, boom. That's basically what it looks like, and those cards will fall into your lap. It just sort of looks like you're setting the deck down and then readjusting your grip to hold on to the 4 cards. And then you're going to spread the cards out here, and then all you're going to do is reveal the cards. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 aces, just like this. Oh, and the cleanup, by the way, if you want to do a nice cleanup, you can give the 4 aces out for examination, and then you can take the deck and put it into your lap. And if they want to see the cards, then you can just sort of collect all the cards together in your lap, underneath the table so they can't see. You can bring the deck out with the added 4 cards now, and then now you're completely clean. There's no cards in your lap, and all the cards are here in the deck. So that's pretty much a way to clean up right there. So that's pretty much the trick, guys. If you want to play around with the move where you set the deck down and then switch out the cards, it's a cool move. You guys can use that. There's many applications to use that as like a packet switch or just a simple card switch in general. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this nice little advanced card trick, and see you guys for my next one. Bye.